This is your #1 source for the juiciest, most exclusive reality TV tea, and the latest insider reports point straight to a major shift inside the Brown family dynamic. Current discussions revolve around Cody Brown's declining role, a highly publicized wedding event, and greater attention toward new father figures in the family. Reports circulating in fan groups and production circles indicate rising tension, shifting loyalties, and major emotional fallout. If you are following these developments closely, make sure to engage with the content and stay updated, because the sequence of events surrounding this situation continues to change quickly. Grab your tea, because this gets messy fast. For several years, Cody Brown has consistently emphasized his place as the central authority figure within the family. On-screen appearances and recorded comments show repeated references to expectations of loyalty, obedience, and recognition of his role as the patriarch. His method reflects a model where authority is assumed through title rather than demonstrated through consistent action. The contrast between expectation and execution has become a focal point in recent talks. Observers note that while the expectation of respect stayed constant, the level of engagement with family responsibilities showed visible decline. This gap has led to a measurable shift in perception among family members. He wanted reverence without earning it. Following the relocation to Flagstaff, reports suggest that Cody Brown spent growing amounts of time within a more isolated household structure alongside Robin Brown. This shift resulted in lower interaction with children and grandchildren across the extended family network. Documented absences from key family events, including birthdays and holidays, created an obvious gap in relational continuity. Analysts of the situation often reference the principle that nature abhors a vacuum, meaning that unfilled roles within a system are eventually taken by others. This context sets the stage for new individuals stepping into previously unfulfilled roles. Two people, David Woolley and Janelle's rumored fiancé, have been identified in multiple reports as regularly present figures within family gatherings. Their involvement includes direct engagement with children, participation in activities, and obvious emotional support. Observations highlight that their approach does not depend on authority claims, but on consistent action. Examples include assisting with daily needs, attending events, and keeping open communication with younger family members. The result has been a gradual rise in acceptance and recognition from the children. This contrast is frequently summarized as Cody demands recognition, while these people build it through involvement. According to circulating insider discussions, Cody Brown has voiced frustration regarding the involvement of these new figures. Statements credited to him include claims such as "they're overstepping" and "they're stealing my legacy." These reactions allegedly occurred in private conversations and behind-the-scenes discussions with production staff. The tone detailed in these reports includes heightened emotional responses, suggesting concern over perceived loss of authority. This introduces a contradiction that becomes more clear when examining later developments. Public response from viewers and fan groups quickly focused on documented patterns of absence. Multiple instances have been mentioned where Cody Brown did not attend key events involving grandchildren, including birthdays and holidays. This led to a widely repeated statement across social platforms: "You can't overstep a relationship that doesn't exist." The argument stresses that authority claims require active participation. As a result, the criticism shifted from the acts of others to Cody's own level of involvement. This moment significantly altered the narrative direction. Behavioral analysis presented by commentators suggests a pattern involving a strong need for validation combined with sensitivity to perceived rejection. Observers describe this as a fragile response system where authority is expected but not reinforced through consistent behavior. The contrast becomes clearer when comparing expectations of high-level respect with limited emotional engagement. The emergence of alternative father figures appears to act as a trigger, highlighting differences in approach and outcome. One widely discussed story involves David Woolley and Janelle's fiancé participating in the construction of a playground for the children. The activity included physical labor, extended time commitment, and direct contact with younger family members. This event has been interpreted as a concrete example of investment in long-term relationships. The phrase "they weren't brainwashing, they were building memories" has been constantly cited in discussions analyzing this time. The contrast between physical presence and reported absence became a defining comparison. As the family prepared for a major wedding event, reports indicated a complex situation for Cody Brown. Attendance carried the possibility of reduced interaction or visible exclusion, while absence would reinforce existing criticisms. Production teams were reportedly adjusting plans due to uncertainty around participation. Additional reports suggest that Robin Brown encouraged conditions for attendance, including demands for apologies from adult children. However, available information indicates that these conditions were not accepted. The family structure has gradually changed from a centralized authority model to a distributed relational model. Adult children appear to value stability, consistency, and emotional safety over traditional hierarchical roles. This shift reflects a larger transition toward chosen relationships rather than assigned power. The guiding principle noticed is that respect follows consistent behavior rather than formal titles. Maddie Brownbrush and Kayla Brush have been named as influential figures within the extended family network. Reports say they set clear boundaries regarding participation in family events, including limiting roles assigned to grandfather figures. This decision has implications for televised content, as reduced interaction with key family members directly affects narrative development. For a reality television format, decreased involvement can result in reduced screen presence and associated income. The outcome of these decisions effectively positions Cody Brown outside the central family dynamic. This is not described as a temporary disagreement, but as a structured boundary. Observers note that this reflects a long-term adjustment rather than a short-term conflict. Public response has largely supported the actions of the adult children, emphasizing consistency and accountability. Reports indicate that Robin Brown expressed concerns about her children being excluded from interactions with extended family members. However, responses from viewers quickly referenced earlier restrictions implemented during previous periods, including strict visitation limitations. This comparison led to widespread criticism, highlighting inconsistency between past actions and current claims. The central theme emerging from these events contrasts two approaches: authority through control versus influence through involvement. The first relies on hierarchy and enforcement, while the second depends on presence and connection. Observations across multiple reports consistently show that the latter creates stronger relational outcomes. Additional reports show attempts to influence production direction, including proposals for structured conversations under controlled circumstances. However, adult family members allegedly declined participation in such setups. This refusal indicates a shift in control over narrative direction. The financial consequences of reduced involvement have become a topic of discussion. With limited participation in central storylines, possible income streams connected to the show may be affected. At the same time, other family members are apparently expanding independent opportunities, causing a visible contrast in outcomes. During the wedding reception, multiple reports describe a time where children gravitated toward David Woolley and Janelle's fiancé during group activities. The interaction occurred naturally without direction, showing established familiarity. In comparison, Cody Brown's presence was described as minimal or absent. This moment has been widely mentioned as a defining turning point. Observers stress that the most important shift is not conflict, but absence of engagement. The lack of reaction or expectation suggests a completed transition. In behavioral analysis, this is often called the final stage of relational disengagement. A key moment identified in reports involves Gabriel Brown giving a speech during the event. The speech allegedly centered on defining family through actions rather than titles. Notably, Cody Brown was not addressed. Instead, recognition was directed toward people actively involved in family life. This omission carried major symbolic weight. Following this moment, recognition within the family appears to have shifted toward those showing consistent involvement. This transition shows a redefinition of leadership based on participation rather than designation. The cumulative effect of these changes includes loss of central power, reduced family interaction, and diminished narrative presence. The situation fits with the statement, "He abandoned the role and someone else filled it." The current phase shows a restructuring based on active relationships, consistent support, and shared participation. The focus has shifted towards stability and mutual respect within a redefined family structure. What remains under discussion is how these developments will continue to unfold and what future interactions may look like within this changing dynamic.